We definitely had some looks that we normally knock down that we feel good about. A ton of possessions, where we really feel good about the shot we generated. Just didn't finish at the rim or knock down the backside three. But definitely some things we can do better offensively as well.
Hey Frank, Mike Trudell back in LA. Just wondering the balance of how, with Portland playing as big as they did, how much do you like sticking to your bigger lineups and how good they've been defensively, and then how often do you think about going small over the course of a game versus a series? How do you weigh all those decisions?
Game to game, and sometimes even quarter to quarter. We've had a good blend throughout the year where we play big and small every game. And we have the ability to manipulate that, they're doing the same right now. And sometimes they got 2 7-footers out there, and sometimes they're smaller. But we'll just continue to evaluate and try to strike the right balance.
Hey Frank, it's Dave. I just want to know, first of all, will you plan a lineup change for next game? And if you don't want to answer that question, just what's your philosophy on lineup changes in a playoff series?
It's appropriate when needed, and it's always going to be in any series with any team. It would be something that I consider and evaluate based on a certain matchup. The way you started throughout the course of the season isn't always how you stay throughout a 7-game series. But, as the 1 seed and a team with the best record in the West, I have confidence in the lineup that we have. But, we'll continue to evaluate all that stuff game to game, just like we would in any playoff series.
Hey, Frank, it's Bill. How likely do you think it is that Rondo plays in Game 2? And does the fact that you guys now find yourselves in this early hole make it any more difficult for you to envision throwing him out there when the stakes are so higher for you at this point?
Rondo's working really hard to get back, and we'll have him back when he's ready, not before. We were going to list him as questionable, which by definition means 50-50. So we'll see how he responds to today's work.
Hey Frank, I'm curious, what was film session like today? Was LeBron James especially vocal? What was just sort of the general mood during it?
Well, I'm not going to share what our guys were like, but we're optimistic. We know there's some things we could do better, but we're very encouraged. If the thing I'm most encouraged about is we have a super talented team, and when you have a super talented team that plays like a scrappy underdog, you have a chance to really accomplish something special. And we scratched and clawed. We played extremely hard on both ends of the floor last night. I was very pleased with that part of it. And like I said, even pleased with a lot of the shots that we were able to generate within our offense, and optimistic in what we can accomplish in this series.
Kyle Goon?
Frank, we saw Danny and KCP working out with Phil and Jason, and with the portion we were able to view. From your perspective, what's most important to kind of getting them back on track? Is it just putting up shots in practice? Is it kind of getting them to run plays in a game that they feel comfortable with? Where do you kind of start with that?
Both. We always want to give guys certain looks that they're used to in their sets, and continue to have those guys continue to trust their work. That's what we said all along. That's the right approach. For shooters, and those guys are doing the same work they would have done if they made 10 threes last night. They honor their work on a daily basis, and that stuff pays off on the court.
And as a quick follow-up, do you sense in this environment, it's so limited to basically basketball, it's harder to shake off nights like last night where guys maybe just have more time to think about it?
I think that's case by case, but I personally don't think so. In the playoffs, guys feel the losses, they enjoy the wins, and I don't think it's that much different in here than elsewhere. So confident how we're going to respond.
Tanya?
As you look back on film of last night's game, that final 5-minute stretch, is there anything from a coaching standpoint that you look back and think would have gone better if you had done differently?
Couple things. A couple execution pieces. We made some mistakes down late. We played extremely hard, but made some mistakes late that were costly. But tactically, things I would do different, I'll keep that to myself.
Joe Varden?
Dame was, I think, 9 of 21, CJ 8 of 20, Melo 3 of 11, and you guys had something to do with that. You feel like you can sustain defensively what you did for last night on their big guns for a 7-game series?
I do, but we know what those guys are capable of.
Right.
That's for sure. They're as dynamic as it comes, and this offense is as dynamic as it comes. Inside the bubble, their offensive rating was 124. Which Dallas was the best offense in the history of basketball with an offensive rating of 117, and Portland was 124 in the bubble. They were 98 last night. So I was very pleased with what we did on the defensive end, and confident that we can sustain it while understanding what those guys are capable of.
So do you, again, I mean, you are the 1 seed, so you got to look at this probably differently than the way I'm asking it, but no one has played defense like that on them this whole tournament.
Correct.
So is this a missed opportunity that you couldn't win that one then when you were able to lock them down the way you did?
Yeah, I mean, every game you don't win is a missed opportunity, but I just know that we're confident in our plan. Have total respect for what those guys are capable of if we're not sharp, and repeat our performance on that end. And confident that the ball's going to win more than it did in Game 1.
Will has last question.
Coach, I have one more for you.
Yep.
Hey, Coach, just a quick follow-up on Rondo. Can it be beneficial to have a player like Rondo, just as he's been such a setup man, a quarterback type of point guard in his career? Can that essentially help improve some of the shooting? What I mean by that is just the setups, hitting guys on the money. Do you look at that at all when you think of Rondo, if he could help by more facilitating as far as the outside shooting goes?
Absolutely. Anytime you have somebody that has the ability to create like Rondo does, that helps your offense. Obviously, LeBron's pretty good too. so we're getting some good looks. But certainly Rondo would help everything we do.